Hey everyone, I'm Molly Crabapple, and when I was 22, I founded an art octopus called Dr. Sketchy's Anti-Art School that currently takes place in 100 cities around the world. I'm going to tell you how to make your own DIY empire. But before we talk about DIY empires, let's talk about real empires. Rome, England, McDonald's, the type of places where it's a large country that comes into a small country, rapes people's husbands, and force feeds their children corn syrup. We don't like these people. DIY empires are different. They are a movement animated by a single idea, sharing a name, that takes place in a lot of cities. It's locally grown, grassroots rather than top-down. It's Ignite, or National Novel Writing Month, or Dr. Sketchy's. To start your own DIY empire, you have to start out doing something lots of people do, but doing it in a bizarre way. For instance, having really smart tech people talk really fast for only 5 minutes. Or doing what I did, taking life drawing classes, which are like gym for artists, but instead of having unemployed, out-of-work actors, having stunning, hot girls and boys of the demi-monde. When I was in school, I worked as an artist model, and the classes were really educational, but they were kind of grim. So I created my first Dr. Sketchy's event. I asked some scarlet red dive bar in Brooklyn to let me use the space. I begged my awesome burlesque friends to pose. I asked my mom to come. I created my first event. The trick to getting Dr. Sketchy's, or your DIY empire, to take off is you have to make it accessible to lots of different types of people. If one is a glittering drag queen or fetish model, they could pose for Sketchy's. If they're a twitchy weirdo who likes to draw comics, they can attend. After our first session, we befouled the intrawebs with our awesome pictures. When you're competing in the Facebook generation, you have to play on people's envy and make them wish that they had attended your event. The other advantage Sketchy's had in his DIY empire was that our attendees created their own media around the session. They did sketches and paintings and photos. They posted them up on LiveJournal and MySpace, because it was back in 2005, and all their friends wished they could come too. Within 2 months of starting Sketchy's, we got requests from people as far afield as Tasmania, saying, why isn't there anything cool in Tasmania? Why do cool things only happen in New York? I objected. So I made the rules for how you could spread Dr. Sketchy's to your city. Things like how much you had to pay your model, or how frequently you had to do it. But, and this is important for your DIY empire, you also want to make a unique vision of the world, an animating truth that's going to bring together all of your outposts. Mine was that models are muse goddesses, and we should worship them as such. Then, I made it really easy for people to get involved. Anyone cool could start a Sketchy's, even an unemployed wannabe tattoo apprentice in Melbourne. She became my most awesome branch. I set the parameters for starting, made an easy form, and from there it spread. A fan in Toronto found out about our New York event. Someone from Sydney attended their event, hired a drag queen from Hamburg who brought it home with him. Eventually, and rather quickly, we spread beyond the legions of people who speak English and wear skinny pants. We're currently celebrating the Chilean bicentennial in Santiago, and also invading another country I've never been to, Second Life. They have their own Sketchy's. Whenever I was in the media, I would tell people, you too can start a Sketchy's. I was on French TV, begging the people of Paris to join my DIY empire. I also, to kind of spread the legend, engaged in quasi-legal stunts, like flash mobs in the middle of Times Square with my model dressed as a sexy pigeon. But once you get to that point where you have 100 branches around the world, the question becomes, what do you do now? You can use your money to build libraries in Nepal, like NaNoWriMo. You can simply pursue groupies and adulation, or you can do the very last refuge of a true scoundrel. Book deal. It's my co-founder. However, I would caution you, please remember your DIY empire does suffer from the same one true Achilles heel of all empires. Don't try to invade Russia in the winter. Thanks, guys. You can follow me on Twitter at mollycrabapple.com.